Welcome to Date Night Podcast,
a tabletop role-playing game podcast set in the homebrew world of Volyanaya.
Let's explore a whole new world together.
Anybody make a perception check?
Does Nivara look old enough
Hearing?
to be Kira's mom?
Yes. She's an elf,
20.
so it's hard to tell.
19.
That's fair.
19.
Is
20.
it a hearing or smell related?
Hearing.
Hearing? 20.
That would be a
A lot of you
16.
have 20. So, in the 20 area, you hear Kipling appealing to Nivara as many of you start to go to sleep, and she seems really tired. But you do hear that he's saying that there's a question of balance to be thought of here. And multiple times throughout the night, as all of you are preparing and cleaning up, there are many times where he is turning his attention to her and trying to convince her to leave the stone here. I guess some of the other things maybe you pick up with the 20s, each of you maybe get a bit of the conversation. He says what he said to you a few times about this being the last place of life. You pick up something about if the mistress makes it as far north as the shrine to the Storm Raven, that she will bring terrible things into this place. He says something along the lines, too, of, my parents, your friends, they taught you that this world is like a shield laid on the ground with a man standing on its edges, and it can only lean in one direction by his will. And that's something, you actually hear him say something like, the world is a shield and it is away from life, a few times throughout their conversation. He's just every so often seeming to make this last appeal to her as if he wants her to make a different decision. But that's about what you pick up on as you're getting ready for bed. Okay. You go to sleep. You get a long rest.
Yay.
You lose one level of exhaustion if you have any, which some of you do.
Wait, I had 2 levels. I thought they were related to being poisoned.
They were not.
No, that
The
was
exhaustion was from running.
From running.
Oh, from running.
All day.
Yeah, and all night. So you lose one. You get all your health back. At least hit dice up to half your character level back. All your spell slots back.
Yay.
And my sun's out, guns out code is fine, right?
It's a little stained.
Yeah, it's weathered. It looks even more badass. All right. Morning comes. What's the plan?
Nivara, if we go, will you fight with us?
Let her eat her bagel. Jeez.
This is as much my fault as anyone else's. I'll return the stone and I'll come back to Raventree and stand there and share the fate of the village.
Tight.
All right.
You gonna wimmily wommily?
Yep.
I'm looking around. She's the biggest one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are the dwarves going to stay here, or are they going to come with us?
They're coming if they can.
Okay, then I'm going to eye the fattest one. Look at the trees. Find the
Hey.
fattest tree. I was looking at you, and I'm like, wait, the dwarves.
I mean, they've been in slavery, and they've been walking through the desert. They're pretty lean dwarves at the moment. Everybody looks svelte from these travels. There's plenty of big trees around.
Wimmily wommily, wimmily wommily, wimmily wommily woo. Is that right?
Close enough.
And you all appear beneath the boughs of the Raven Tree. And with that,
We made it!
we're going to jump over to a different part of this story. Okay? Are we ready to do that? Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
So.
I draw my axe. Okay, now I'm good.
Okay. Baba Ganoush is afraid.
Oh, she's there too?
Wait, is that the one whose
Spitleys.
baby daddy is... No.
That's
No.
the really old
There's
lady.
way too many characters
Alana.
in Raventree.
Alana.
Yeah, we're at the end of this arc, so they've met dozens of people around, but potentially soon they might be in a new place.
Did
so,
Kip come with us?
depending on what happens. No, Kip definitely did not.
Okay.
Good.
Everybody else did,
And the 5 dwarves.
and Henna, yeah.
Oh, Hannah came or she stayed?
She came, yeah. All right, Bill, our new player. Your character, Spree, who's a brass dragonborn. Is that what you said, Sam?
I think it was
Gold.
Gold?
Yeah, I think it's gold. 'cause-
Guest player. Da, 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 da.
You're walking on the road south from a city or a region in this island of Lamoche, the same island where all these players are on, but far to the north of where they are, called Kanagara. It's an empty but well-worn path that's known as the Pilgrim's Path. But there's something eerie about it to being this empty, and the very little bit of traffic that you encounter on the road is all heading the other way. It's kind of like driving toward a tornado or something where everybody is leaving and you're the storm chaser heading in that direction. The people that walk by have these haunted, distant look in their eyes, weariness in their bones, and a few of them have actually told you to turn back, but most of them have just shambled past you, going in the other direction. Lady Inara Peak, the huge mountain on this island, has been ever on your left, dwarfing even the peaks of Firecliff, which is a place where many Dragonborn live, and maybe your character's from, maybe not, on this island, that you've seen, or any other mountains that you've ever seen in your travels. At the mountain's base is the temple that you're headed to, one of the only bastions of holiness in this land plagued by corruption and laden with raiders and slavers that hold sway over many portions of the island. This is a place where you can seek guidance from your god Bahamut.
The raiders and slavers, those are our people.
Bahamut is a platinum dragon who had ascended to godhood. It's called the Young God. Is one of the last gods to become a god, but still tens of thousands of years ago before remembered history. But that's sort of part of the lore of that. But he's a dragon who became a god. Many Dragonborn follow him. You're on a long stone-laden path, and you ascend up to the temple. But there are two figures who are picking their way down. The larger one is casting worried glances back over his shoulder. And as you get closer, you can see that they're tieflings. And tieflings are these humanoid-type characters. They look kind of like devils because they have horns and tail. But these are kind of purplish in their, or bluish in their complexion. And one is a man in his 30s or 40s. They're fairly common, actually, on this island, too. He's strong, and he has a young girl walking beside him who's cradling a pangolin in her arms. And she looks wary to approach you, but the man keeps hurrying her forward. As he gets even closer to passing you, you can see he has a badge on his leather coat. It's visible as he gets within a few dozen feet, and he says, "Be wary of that place." And he tries to walk past you. What do you do?
Well, I think I would ask him to clarify, kind sir.
Okay.
Clarify your warning.
He tries to keep walking, but the little girl stops, and she says, "There's a bad man coming." And the man just kind of stops to go back and collect the girl, and he says, he looks you over and sees kind of your armor, and you probably pretty shiny being a paladin with your chainmail and your shield and your sword. And he says, "We were traveling with a dark character, not of our own accord. It was a prisoner that broke free during the prison riot at Silver's Blessing and took us hostage. We walked for many days with him through the Underdark, but in the light of the Light Waterfalls not too far back, some great beast ambushed our party, and we slipped away." He absent-mindedly fiddles with an amulet under his shirt, and he says, "The man's a warlock. He travels in the disguise of a refugee. Along with him, any others that might still be with him are cultists. Be wary of an ambush. He has designs on heading to Raventree, but he's mad. He's got no vision but ash and dust in his eyes, and I've got to get my daughter away." "And Topanga," she says, feeding her pangolin a small handful of food.
Topanga.
And he strokes the little girl's hair, and he says, "Yeah, and Topanga, sweetheart." What do you do?
And the name of this dark creature, kind sir. I may know him. I may know of him.
He just calls himself the Palm.
Palm?
He was at the center of the Black Hand, a cult that unraveled. He was the leader before he was overthrown by Tashi, put into prison, before he got out during the riots. If Takashi was mad, not Takashi, if Tashi was mad, he's madder.
And is he now in the temple that I'm proceeding?
We came out of the Underdark. There's a path leads out through the temple. I don't know if he's coming that path or if there is another way. If we're lucky, whatever creature ambushed us took him down, but I find that hard to believe. He's fairly powerful.
Well, I know this temple well, even though it's been many days since I've been in here. So I shall proceed and just see what may befall me. Thank you, kind sir. Take your young child and leave.
All right.
Get her to safety.
And he just turns and starts to walk down further down that stone path that you came up. And you head up toward the temple that, you have visited before here at the base of Lady Inara Peak, a place where there are shrines to many gods outside of the temple in particular, and one to the, not to Bahamut, that's inside the temple. So mostly you would go kind of up the stairs to this kind of covered, almost patio-like area with lots of shrines and big columns holding up a big roof. As you start to head up there, the tiefling walking down the path says, "Wait, just a second." And he removes an amulet and he places it on his daughter's neck and whispers something to her, and she nods and disappears. And you hear her quietly walking off the path towards some rocks where a small outcropping gives a commanding view of the road. And the tiefling man takes a couple steps toward you, and he says, "You look like a holy sort, eh? Tell me, what does your God say about forgiveness and second chances?"
My God preaches forgiveness to those that deserve it. And I have to make the decision based on the information I have at the time, who deserves it and who doesn't.
A tall task. I want to stop this guy, but I'm nothing against him by myself. Maybe there's something I can do to help you, though. Just promise me, if anything happens to me, I've told my daughter to come out if you or I call her name. The Palm doesn't know it. I've been careful that way. But her name's Lila. I'll wait with you at the temple. If you'll have me.
I think, kind sir, not knowing you any more than we have now, I should ask that you wait out here. I will confront whatever is in there with the help of my God, Bahamut.
Okay. I'll look for penance somewhere else, but good luck.
Thank you.
And he calls Lila, and his daughter reappears, and they walk down the path and leave. You head up to the temple. You've been here. The door is always locked to the inside when you've come because the temple's been abandoned for a while. But you would have known that there is a talking door that lives over in this area. It's usually fairly lonely. I don't know how you would have felt about the talking door when you came to visit. So I don't know if he's somebody you avoid or somebody you would seek out and greet when you arrive there. But you do know that. You do know there are shrines to many different, mostly kind of wild gods that this island favors, not the most lawful of gods, but your god is more of like a law-seeking god, one of the only ones that really holds a lot of sway around here in terms of shrines, who's of that persuasion. There are a couple of fountains that are dried up. There are gardens here that are dead. This is a temple that hasn't had people inside of it for about 300 years. So in your memory, there's never really been an active temple. But monks used to live here a long time ago. But you head up. What's your first point of business? You go check out the shrine. You go talk to the door. You do anything else?
Well, would the door let me in? Do I have to breach the door to get in?
So your shrine is outside.
Right.
So the door guards the entrance to the main temple, which is where there's a god of the All-Mother, the goddess.
So Bahamut is an outside shrine. Okay.
There's a shrine. It's just got a big silver-colored statue of a dragon, kind of twisted around a smaller dragon and biting it. And there's a place where you can kind of leave offerings or burn a candle or do any of that.
Okay. Well, since I am a creature of oaths and honor, I will first acknowledge Bahamut and seek that he give me strength to confront what is bespoiling the temple inside. Okay. And even if it's to the other gods that aren't quite as the ones I would follow, whoever's in there is a stain upon the temple and needs to be eradicated and vanquished.
Okay. So you go up to the shrine of Bahamut and you say your prayer, and you get this feeling of resolve kind of run through you that you get when you pray. And as you're there for a little while and kind of wrap up and start looking around to see what your next point of order might be, like either how to get in the temple or where might be a good place to wait for anybody to come out, this big sphere of a man walks up to you. He's kind of a metal creature with one big central eye. He looks like Mike Wazowski from Monsters Incorporated and kind of how he's built, but he's made of brass. And he's wearing leather around him, so he looks a little bit bouncy. And he walks up to you and he goes, "Oh, hello! I'm Kelman Coggles-6.
I don't recognize you, kind squire.
I live here at the temple now with my friend, Victor. I've only taken up residence here, I don't know, maybe a few weeks ago, but it's real snazzy. I try to keep the place clean. I've been trying to see if I could get the garden to grow again, but I don't really have a green thumb."
Well, I haven't been here in quite a while, but only the gods live at this temple.
Well, I guess I'm a god now.
I think not. Kindly move aside.
Okay. Just wanted to say hi. I'll bugger off. People tell me to do that a lot.
I'm not surprised.
Okay. And you hear a little whirring as Kalman kind of walks back over to the side. Okay. What do you want to do? Do you want to try to go into the temple, or do you want to try to find a spot where you could wait to see if somebody would be leaving? Do you have an idea how long you think it might have been since Bree was here last?
I feel like he came there a lot when he was young. I think I feel like he got his spiritual training, much of his spiritual training there, and maybe even had much of his martial arts training there as a young man.
Okay.
All in the service of his God.
Okay.
And of his faith. So I think to him, he has a loyalty to this temple as a whole, and that he sees any of these people here as, because he's been gone a long time, he sees them as a sacrilege just to be there, and that he feels like he needs to take steps to cleanse it, clean it out.
So the temple,
Kelman has never done anything wrong in his life ever.
We know Kelman.
Oh, yeah. He's an old character. So the temple, the main part, hasn't been lived in about 300 years. So if you came here for the training and stuff like that, that could have been in this region, like in Kanagara, and people who live here near the temple. But the main monks that were the order of this temple have been gone for a long time. But if some order of Dragonborn were still living in the area, they definitely could have come and used the temple and
But could
and the
Spree be
shrines.
300 years old?
I don't know. I don't know how long Dragonborn live.
I don't think so. I think they live to 80 is the typical.
He might not be able to be that old.
Well, it may have been, like you say, from the original. It may have been various
It might make
various
pilgrim-
societies that took up residence there or that used
Yeah.
it, and it kind of like the temple was
Yeah.
always there, and then each generation maybe had something to.
Okay. And there is a path where people come
80.
People come all the time to the temple, and they come and camp and do all that
Right.
kind of stuff too,
Oh, okay.
and still use it. So
maybe I've misjudged the people that are hanging around there. That they're really not such a stain.
Well, I mean,
on the dignity.
it has been a long time since people have come. It seems like things have fallen into disrepair, and if you see that when you used to see gardens that were alive and fountains that used to run, maybe even your people came and kept it because it had. Maybe they came and found it in disrepair and then kept building the temple
Well,
up.
it would be like any church. It was
Yeah.
a center of faith and of socialization, and
Right.
and just like any church is.
Yeah, all
Okay.
of a sudden Spree realizes he hasn't eaten all day. He pulls out a Snickers bar, and suddenly he doesn't feel like everyone in the area is a terrible stain upon the temple.
I thought it was going to be a homecoming meal at the church that you were talking
You're
about.
not you
He's-
when you're
he's
hungry.
But then there's a nice spread of ham and macaroni salad.
Well, I've been away at war, so I have a warrior's mindset.
But yeah, so
Pops and cold
so you're there.
candies.
Do you want? I guess the
The
approach
warrior's
is:
food.
do you want to try and go into the temple and wait? You know, if you came to the temple, that there's a path that leads on the inside down through like a mausoleum, and then it goes down past that into the Underdark, and the Underdark is like this place beneath the earth where terrible creatures live.
Right.
And that's the path he's kind of saying that the fella is on, the warlock,
Well,
and he's
right,
heading.
and that's who I've decided I'm going to confront.
Right.
From what the information the guy gave me. Now, the first guy that I met, not the one that gave me the warning, but the guy that was living there.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's involved. Is he somehow involved? Is he part of the crew of this warlock? Could he
Okay.
be part of the band? So I'm not going to let any of my guard down right now until I know exactly who is who.
So I'm going to give you your first roll.
Okay.
So you roll your d20,
All right.
and then Sam, help him find his insight bonus.
He could have failed.
He had a critical failure.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was going to it was an insight check.
Right.
So the insight check is supposed to give you a feeling of, whether or not you can trust somebody. But with a 1,
Thanks.
because this guy, he's a Modron, is what those creatures are called, the big spherical things, and they don't have real expressions on their faces. So when he came up and talked to you, you got no read at all, like if he's good, if he's bad, and that's all the roll was to see if you knew.
I'm a Dane on its dignity. Yay!
So you don't know.
Was I too suspicious? Was I too?
No, that was good. That was good for you.
Great.
I like the characters already has a personality, and so he's good. But you don't get a read. I mean, you could go and talk to him.
I don't get a read on him.
Right.
All right, and so I've shuffled him on anyway. So it isn't as though he's traveling with me, and I will always wonder.
No,
what his
he'll pop
intentions
back
are.
up.
It always seems to.
But I still do not know if he's involved with
Right.
with the warlock or not.
Yeah, you've never seen him before. Can't tell if he's trustworthy.
Right,
So who
okay.
knows? So you hang out for a while. Again, do you want to go in? You want to try to go in the temple and head down that path, or do you want to try and set up an ambush outside the temple somewhere, or hang out and wait here to see if the warlock and whoever he might have with him comes this way, or what do you think you want to do?
I feel like I want to seek him out and take the war to him.
Okay. So you head toward. Are you sneezing?
Yeah.
Having a sneezing fit. So you head
Sitting here counting them.
to the door, and you've seen this fellow before. Then it's just a big kind of brass. Was it brass? It's been so long.
No, it's wood.
since you've been in the temple.
It's brass fixtures.
You see this big door with big brass knockers and a face on it. And he says, "Well, hello. I haven't seen you in a spell, Spree."
And as I told you last time, what knockers?
Well, I thank you for noticing. Nobody's complimented me on them in quite some time.
They haven't changed a bit.
Well, thanks. I have quite the regiment to keep young, hanging around here.
Okay.
No pun intended, of course. But
Of course. Have you met my new friend?
who?
He's always around. He's kind of a spherical fella,
Perhaps I did meet him.
Ah.
Is he someone you do call a friend?
Oh, yes, a very close friend. He goes out and gathers rumors and comes back and tells me about them, and I tell him what they mean.
Ah,
It's a very symbiotic relationship.
I see. Well, perhaps I will get him to know later, but right now, I need entry into the temple.
Okay, well, you know the drill.
I do.
So,
And I shall kneel now and place my hand.
No.
no, let him do what he's going to do.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead. Go ahead, open the door.
On your knockers.
Oh, that's nice. It's been so long. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but just come on in. We're open.
Well, I guess a lot has changed since I've been here. I was just doing it the old style way, but
That's the way
I'm a
accustomed.
creature of a bygone era.
Well, let's let bygones be bygones and come on in.
Okay. Thank you, and good to feel you again.
And the door creaks open, and a little bell rings as it does, and you walk inside to the lobby. And in the lobby, there are three paths. One that leads upwards to where there used to be living quarters in here a long time ago. One that leads straight ahead to the main worship chamber for the All-Mother. And one that leads down toward the mausoleums and the Underdark. And actually, as soon as you go in, go ahead and roll a perception check. So roll a d20 and then add your perception modifier.
Oh,
Better.
But not much.
might want to switch dice.
Yeah.
Nah.
6.
Okay, so show him how to add the perception, like what I mean there.
So you rolled a 3,
Mm-hmm.
and now this number underneath, because it's a wisdom, see, it's a perception,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not bubbled in.
Mhm.
So you just take it 3 plus, and then that's your modifier down there. So 3 plus 3, 6.
6.
If it was bubbled in, you could.
No,
if,
you
if
just
it was
6.
if
Okay.
it was bubbled in, you could also add this.
Yeah, if it was a survival check,
Right.
you would do 3 plus 3 plus 3.
Mm.
You would add your
Yeah, the
proficiency.
bubbles mean you get to add that other bonus.
Right.
Okay, so you do that. You walk in, you kind of listen a little bit, and try to see if anything's going on, but it just seems quiet and still in here, dusty. Don't really see anything or hear anything.
Mm. Well, can I tell you what I'd like to do?
Yeah.
I'd like to check upstairs first, because to make sure there's no one that when I make my final approach, there's no one that's somewhere that I haven't checked to make sure it's clear and they're not going to come in behind me.
Okay.
So I'd like to check upstairs on that path first.
Okay.
To check all the rooms to make sure there are no threats that could be either waiting or...
Right. So you go upstairs, and you've been here before, so your folks from your temple probably would have let you know how to navigate the upstairs. There's actually a trapped area for intruders, but there's a way that you can pull these beads on the curtains and pull these ramps down and take like a ramp over so that you don't fall down the pit. So you move up and you sort of perform this, and you see when you go to do it that none of the beads that usually fall out that are supposed to be in the trap are in. Like, it has been sprung in the many years since you've been here.
Mm-hmm.
You maybe even look down in the pit because there's like no, you can't really see from where that pit is. You know, they've told you there's like a slide almost thing that goes down and drops people into a pit.
So I can't tell whether anyone's trapped there or bones there or anything.
You could holler down, but it could have been 20 years ago that this trap was
I
sprung.
don't want to let my presence known right now.
Okay. So you continue heading upward. Actually, if you don't want to be noticed, I'll ask you to roll another skill called Stealth. So you roll and add your Stealth modifier.
Stuff is right there. So
Okay.
13 plus 1.
13 plus 1,
That's pretty good.
14.
Yeah.
Stealth.
So you move slowly and make sure you're not scuffing on the ground or anything as you
Right.
go. And you do go all the way up and you check. There are mostly just very simple. There were monks who lived here, living quarters with bunks and things along those lines. Those seem empty. You go to the study where there used to be, actually not in your time, there weren't really any books here, but there are lots of bookshelves, but everything's really, for the most part, gone. There's a few scattered around.
Are there any indications that someone is living there?
All right, that would be a survival check. So if you want to check for like footprints or if somebody's been there, so you roll a d20 and add your survival bonus, and I'll tell you if you can pick up on any.
And will this cover like messed up bed covers or personal items that someone has left on the counters or they?
That you just by looking, you don't see a lot of personal things around.
Plus that.
6
and
plus
then you have it bubbled in. So 6 plus 6.
6 plus 6.
12.
Yes.
You see, it looks like somebody was in here a number of months ago.
Not recent though.
But there is no sign that anybody along your whole way in the upstairs section. You see no sign of anything being disturbed recently in terms of the dust is settled. So you think it's fairly safe upstairs in
Okay.
terms of nobody being around.
All right. Well, then I think I should come down to where the three paths
Okay.
converge again. And what was still I want to clear
The main
myself from having someone come in behind me. So isn't there another path rather than the main one down to the main threat? Is there another path, and where does that go?
It's like a big sanctuary room almost.
Right.
So
And that's where I want to go.
okay, so that has big doors on it, and you head into that room, and you do see something that's different in this room since the last time you've been here. There's usually a big stone in the statue of the All-Mother, which is one of the three stones of the mountain, two of which you thought were accounted for and on the mountain, and the one in this temple is gone. You could make another survival check to see how recently you might think anybody has been in this room. But currently, as you just look around, it's a pretty big empty room. You don't think there's anybody in it right now.
And I feel a little alarmed that the stone is gone because as long as I knew this place, that stone was always there.
Yeah.
It's like it's been removed from its place.
There's a big, it's a
That's
big
weird.
stone,
Weird.
too, so it's pretty obvious that it's
Yeah.
gone.
And I feel like it belongs there.
Imagine
Okay.
that.
What a crazy random happenstance.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
Wouldn't know what happened to that.
Oh, goodness.
All right. So I want you to roll one more perception check. So add your perception modifier again.
Plus
6 plus 3?
9. Okay.
Do you need to get him some different dice?
Yeah, do you want another set of dice?
It seemed a little bit loaded for me to lose.
You can grab whatever ones you want.
Yeah.
One of
But-
these two?
I think they all roll the same.
Yeah. Maybe I'm.
Sure.
They're of the
And
luck.
if I wasn't rolling it on the carpet.
Some of them are in the luck is in the dice, and I'm in the
I
statistics.
have 4
are in the dice
D20s,
camp, so.
and my green one still is always the one that rolls last for the 20s.
Do I actually
it's
believe in luck and lucky dice? No.
Yeah.
Do you
Do
still
some
switch?
dice roll better?
Do some dice
yeah.
roll better than others? I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Do I need to roll again, or
No.
I'm just going to go from here?
No, go with the stink dice.
So, I mean, it seems clear. Everything again doesn't look like it's been disturbed recently, but
Does the stone look
is
like it's
gone.
been gone a long time?
Months.
That you'd have to go up and investigate, which is a completely different skill. So you could go like where it was pried,
Okay.
and you could try to figure out what
I
happened.
don't think I'm interested in going that
Okay.
far right now. I'm just
Okay.
wanting to see any immediate threats.
Doesn't look like there's anything at all in this room, and it probably hasn't been in weeks, months, something like that.
Okay.
Just like upstairs.
All right. Well, once that's done, then I'll steel myself to the task at hand.
Okay. Are you still heading downward, or are you waiting or preparing anything, or?
No, I think I'm going into the fray.
All right. So as you start heading down toward, it's like a almost spiraling staircase that goes down to the mausoleum, which is the first part of the entrance. I will ask for a new perception check because you're in a new area.
Nat 20.
See?
Natural 20.
Yeah,
You needed to
whoa.
switch.
So that is called a critical success. If you roll a 20, you don't have to add your modifier or anything. It automatically succeeds. There's a couple skills where it doesn't, but for the most part, that automatically succeeds. So you can just tell me critical success or nat 20 or whatever.
Critical success.
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah. So in your tutorial
I
little
win
thing,
yet?
you got a
Now you win D&D. It's over. Pack it up. We've been waiting for somebody to roll a 20 since we started. Now we can
End of
quit.
season 2.
Yeah. He rolled a crit fail and a crit success.
That's right. So you've hit
I
both
love it.
ends of it now. With that, as you start to head down the stairs, you hear somebody walking up them with that roll. So you get the idea somebody is coming up those stairs from down below. You get a look around the room. The room you're standing in is a fairly small area. It's maybe 15 by 15 in its radius. So, I mean, it's up to you if you want to keep going down the stairs, if you want to pull back to the room or back to the
I want to
patio.
either step behind a wall or step into a shadow and wait and see what's coming at me first.
Okay. So you step back, roll a stealth check for that.
Plus one.
15 plus 1, 16.
Pretty good. Okay, so yeah, you find a spot that's not lit very well, with the door closed in particular. It's kind of dark in here. You get up kind of against the wall so that they'll have to walk, and you'll be behind them right away, like when they come into the room.
And I'm unsheathing my sword right now.
Okay, so you do, and you stand ready. And after that, you see coming up the stairs and into the room, it looks like a couple of real tattered refugees who are walking up the stairs. If I have a number of them here. But a couple different races of people, and it looks like they're kind of tired. Where is it? There's 3 in all as I walk up there. 2 are hobgoblins, and 1 looks like a human.
Are they able to pass by me without seeing me?
Yeah, with that stealth roll that you had, they walk right past, and they start to turn left to go out the door, and the door from the inside opens. So they start walking out to the... that's where they're headed, like they're walking out toward the patio area.
All right, I want to let them go by.
Okay. So they go, the 3 of them walk by, and they get outside, and you're going to hang tight there where you are for a minute, or...
Just for a moment, and listen to hear if anyone else is coming up, and to make sure they're gone, and to see if I can hear them fade in the distance.
Okay.
I don't want them. I don't want to confront them, and if they're under the spell of the warlock, I don't want them either notifying him or if he can see through their eyes. I don't want them to know I'm here.
All right, so roll one more perception check. See what you hear from all.
8 plus 3.
Okay. I think that's
11.
probably enough to hear that there's something going on, but you don't really hear exactly what it is. And this is after a couple minutes of,
And this
or
is
a few minutes.
down the steps.
No, you actually hear something coming from back outside
Oh, okay.
where you were. And with the 11, You can tell where it's coming from, kind of, but you
Right.
can't really tell what it is or what's happening.
Can I still take advantage of my cover that I'm in?
You can still hide if you want to stay there, but you can't see out into the area where you hear the noise from. It's coming from the other side of the door.
Is it coming towards me, or is it merely something that's going on the other side of the door?
It sounds like it's not too far on the other side of the door, and it is noises from more than one source. And it sounds like something moving around, but you don't get.
But not necessarily moving towards me to go back down the steps.
You don't really get a bead on what.
All right.
yeah,
Well,
what it's doing.
I want to inspect what it is first.
Okay, so take a peek
Yeah,
out
I
the
wanna
door.
take a peek,
Yeah.
yes.
So I'll use your old stealth check that you had. So you're pretty hidden.
Okay.
You go up to the door, you push it open, you look out, and what you see is a actual gargoyle from the. There are these gargoyles that are up above the temple, and you know that they're guardians of the area of the temple. And if somebody steals things from the shrines or damages the shrines in any way, they wake these guardians up.
So they are
You've
loyal
never-
to the temple.
Yeah, and you've never seen one awake.
Right.
Because while you're here, everything's on the up and up at the temple,
Right.
right? But you've heard that's what they do, and whether you
Right.
even believed they did anything or not,
Right.
now there is one who's out there, and when you peek, you see that he's actually pulled out trident, and he's going to try and stab at one of these refugees.
Ah. Well,
You can roll a perception check.
good
I'll tell
on
you
him.
I'll tell you if you see anything else.
Cold-blooded.
No, I feel like if the gargoyle is loyal to the temple, he's getting ready to stab one of the refugees. He has a good reason for it.
Crit fail.
Yeah, that's all you see.
Okay.
That's about it.
All
There's
right.
some dust and stuff outside from where they're kicking up stuff.
Right.
But it looks like they're about to have a battle. So what we're going to do now is we're going to roll initiative.
Okay.
So this is when we start combat.
Okay.
All right. And everybody except Sam, who's going to be your coach, is going to be in this combat, but not as their normal selves.
Oh.
I have special things for you. Actually, I have two. Two people can be in it because there was a way maybe three could, but only two are here. So does anybody want to be Calman Coggles -6?
Oh boy!
This is an old character sheet. It might be hard to read,
I don't care.
but that's our old buddy Calman Coggles. And
I'm a real
either
boy.
Kira or Aaron can be, and I'd probably say Aaron because I might have something for you later. Is that all right with you?
You sure?
You want to be Stony?
Yeah, sure.
Stony the
Sam is so
Gargoyle?
upset now.
Yeah, whatever, man. I got this.
All right.
You get to be the assister. The assister? The assistant.
Yeah. That's fine.
Should
What
I?
is this? Oh, that was going to be him. He's not here.
So I don't bang it with my knee.
Uh,
So we're gonna roll initiative.
look over this for.
So you'll roll that, and your initiative is +1. So whatever you get.
Okay,
+1.
3 + 1. So
Also, we have a
my
spelling
initiative.
problem that we need to work out at some point. Not now.
For what?
Not this. Don't worry about it.
Okay. I'm going to set up a battle map.
Ooh.
Oh, here we go.
use one. We use one once in a while. It'll help you picture where everybody is.
So
it's kind of
your initiative is 4.
Right.
So-
Is that not a lot of initiative?
So this is the initiative roll. So I would like if I was in the battle too, I would roll, and that's 10, and then my initiative is +3.
Glad you came back to the door because that's what I had.
So I would have 13, and I would go. My marker would go on the 13. Yours goes on 4, and one round of combat starts at the top and goes all the way down.
No,
So you're
as-
lower,
as
but
it
which
happens.
is good. Which is good for you because you can see like how other people
Well, I
are
was getting ready to say,
acting.
perhaps-
I don't have a dragon, so
Oh.
this is going to be you. He's got
Okay.
cool armor. You're right here at the door.
Perhaps.
Okay.
My-
This is the area you came up. So these are the dried up fountains. These are columns, these circles, so you can't move through them. And these are the shrines just lined up outside the temple. So some of them you can see through, some of them kind of blocked, but you really can't move through them. Okay? And you're inside. You see the gargoyle.
That's so good.
So I'm looking. All right, and this is happening outside
Yeah.
the room where I was, where I peeked through and saw this.
Yeah.
Right?
See the little semicircle thing?
Mhm.
That's the wall, and you're still on the other side of it. Now,
These are the refugees.
now each one of the squares is 5 feet, and you have a speed of 30, which means on any turn you can move 6 squares. So you get to. So your turn goes. You get to move,
All right.
and you can move 6 squares if you want to. And then you have an attack, so you can hit with
And
your
kill.
sword, and you actually get 2 attacks. So you can hit with your sword twice, or use your dragon breath once,
in
and
the
hit with your
garden.
sword.
Tending to the flowers. So he's about
Or
10
cast
feet
a
off the
spell.
board, okay? Mike,
Something along
Okay.
those lines, and then
I'm
you
going to
will-
go pee
Too
before we
excited.
start the fight.
Then you have a
I'm getting the Tharden.
I don't
I'm Amy, and you're listening to the Date Night Podcast. If you're interested in the homebrew items, class and race options, and other unique things about the show, you can get more information about a lot of them from our friendly neighborhood game moms Dungeon Masters Guild titles. Some of them are offered free or pay what you want, and others are just a few dollars that are used to help support the show. You can find all of the titles by going to our website, datenightpodcast.com, and clicking the store tab, or by searching for Will Mayer on dmsguild.com. There are titles like The Path of Fury for the Barbarian, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Rules for Building Your Own Homunculus, Bloodlines, A Guide to New Playable Races, Backgrounds and Feats, and Crinklefire Touch's Guide to Homebrew Magic Items made for the campaign. Now, let's get back to that campaign and hear what's in store next for our characters.
Let me get some initiative scores, and then we can start our
A full
combat.
cup of Diet
So,
Dr. Pepper. He's really getting in the spirit of it.
Kalman,
18.
Spree, what was your initiative score?
4.
4?
8.
Not right now. Because we're on mic.
I'm not even remotely tempted.
I might eat one
I
after
should not
dinner.
have any. I should not have any. I should not have any. I should
Chocolate
not.
covered devil dogs.
He's got devil dogs. I should not have any. I
They're
should
not good.
I'm
You
gonna
don't even
call-
know. You haven't even
I
eaten
have eaten them.
I'm going to call Stony the summon creature up on here. What did you have?
8.
I got to roll mine, I guess.
Hi. Welcome to Date Night ASMR.
Yep.
No, I can't while I'm doing this. I got too many balls in the air.
Pity.
I mean, one of them's me. I'll just have those act together because they're in the same.
So the combat is the gargoyle has engaged whomever came up the steps,
Right.
and there may be even more out there that didn't come up the steps,
No, 3 came up the steps.
and that's who the gargoyle has engaged. Okay.
Yep.
Well, you shouldn't swipe stuff off the
And
shrines.
Stony is the stoner one, right?
He's the stoner gargoyle. Yep.
The stoner gargoyle.
Yeah.
Stony.
Hey man, where
Yep.
you going with those stones?
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's
Oh
yep.
my gosh.
They've been to this temple for 2 other occasions, so they've met these people before. All right, I think that's what I got here. Let me get those on my sheet, all squared away.
Don't bogart those stones, man.
Kalman's gonna be first, and then it's gonna be.
I'm just gonna attack him with my trident.
Then it's gonna be Stony. And it's gonna be. I need the monster manual.
Wasn't me.
Great. So I have to figure out how to put this book up here somewhere. Up first is going to be Kalman. Kalman, while trying to tend the garden here, has seen 3 apparent refugees come out of the door. One of them go over to the statue of Bahamut and yank it down. When he did that, the stone gargoyle Stony has crashed down into the ground here where there was kind of near the stairs, and then walked under the patio and confronted them, and is getting ready to engage with one of them, getting ready to stab at one. What does Kalman do?
Is he hidden, or do I have to roll the stealth check for that?
You can roll a stealth check.
15 plus Dex plus...
That's way over these guys' passive perception, so
Okay.
he is hidden
Okay.
among the weeds.
So I'm about 10 feet off the map?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's too far for me to run. Can I throw a rock and still have it trigger sneak attack, or does that need to be a...
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
Magic stone?
Yeah, magic stone at this guy.
Okay.
And also, I had a question. What are these? These lines and the circles?
Columns. The circles are columns
Mhm.
that hold up the patio roof, and the lines are lines of shrines between them
Okay.
and altars and stuff.
Oh, that's not good. 4, 8, plus 3, 11.
No, 11 doesn't hit.
Okay.
Oh, wait. That guy? 11 does hit.
Oh, sweet.
Wait.
Wait.
Nope, that guy? Nope, 11 doesn't hit. His
Okay.
mage armor, that's always on at 14.
Oh,
So
okay.
otherwise it would have.
In that case, I'm going to try to do another... I want to move to this column and hide.
Okay. You can use a bonus action as a rogue on your turn to re-hide, so roll a new stealth check.
18 plus things?
Yeah, you are hidden. So you do whip a rock around, and it scatters, but with Stony crumbling the, and raising all the dust and stuff around, and the statue falling, nobody really notices, and Kalman hides again. All right, the warlock is next to act. He drops his form. He actually transforms into kind of a sunken-faced... his face gets all nasty, and you can see like his black eyes. And he only really sees Stony so far as the threat, so that's what he's going to have to deal with. He's going to cast Hold Monster on Stony, so I'm going to need Stony to make a wisdom.
Doesn't matter.
No, not good.
Crit fail.
Okay. So you are currently paralyzed. You get to repeat that save at the end of any of your turns. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Next in the order,
Would be me.
yeah, he's going to hide, he thinks, a little bit from Stony. Can you move him around the side of that column? Yeah. All right. And then it's Stony's turn. You're paralyzed, so that's probably going to be your turn. At the end, you can try and save again.
Is my whole turn just being paralyzed? Okay, we're now at the end.
Unless there's something you can do while you're paralyzed, but I don't think you can.
Hey, man, you need to put that back. Can I do that while I'm paralyzed?
You can, I think.
Okay. That's what
No,
I...
actually, you can't speak, but...
No.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I rolled a 2.
Well, sometimes being a statue, means just
Hey, wait,
standing around.
I'm immune to being petrified. But that's not what I am now, is it?
Nope. You're held right now. Okay. You'll get to repeat that save at the end of each of your turns. So
Oh, good.
You might just be hanging out. The next one to act is one of these cultists who, when the form dropped, theirs did too. They're also tieflings, though. They're not hobgoblins anymore. One of them's going to slash at Stony with a scimitar and will be at advantage because paralyzed. That's a 16 against AC.
Oh, come on. Yes, that passes.
It's an automatic crit on paralyzed, is it?
I don't know.
Yeah. It is. That's 11 slashing damage, which I think
I'm resistant to that.
you take half. Yeah, 5. As the cultist smacks into you with like a scimitar. The other one is going to cast Sacred Flame on you, which will automatically hit because you can't make a dex save. So, what level spellcaster?
You wouldn't kill Stony, would you?
That's 8 radiant damage. And it is Spree, it's your turn now. Now you've got a bead that these are not who they originally appeared to be. They've dropped their form, and you see them out there battling with the stone guardian of this place.
Well, have I observed enough to recognize the warlock? I saw his change.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my determination is, if I can take him out, that will take a lot of the fight maybe out of the others. But that he's the cause of the major problem. So I'm going to go and engage him.
This guy's got a big black hand on his garb, so you have the feeling he's maybe the one in charge.
Yes.
This Lego man.
Right.
A real intimidating Lego man.
And if he is a warlock and is a command of magic, I'm not going to challenge him. I'm going to try and slay him outright.
Okay. So you're going to run up.
I'm going to run up with my broadsword and try to run him through or decapitate him.
All right. Roll your 20 and add your attack modifier.
It's a hit.
Yeah.
It's definitely a hit.
Okay.
19 plus.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so that's 25 for you, I think. So he doesn't even see you. You catch him by surprise, and he thinks he's hiding behind that column, and you stab him through with your longsword. I need you to roll your damage for that.
So that's your D8. So it is this one.
I would probably try to decapitate him rather than to kill the mind, because that might be the source of much of his power.
Cocked.
Vicious.
That's cocked. That's
Yeah,
the
you gotta-
definition of cocked.
Yeah. 4 plus.
Yeah, let him see his sheet so you can see his damage.
Yeah, let's put this on top. So you use your longsword
Yes. Plus 6
10.
damage.
1d8 plus 5 slashing damage.
So 9.
So 9.
9 damage? Okay, so you catch him unaware, and you swing at, you don't get to decapitate him, but you swing it kind of into his collarbone, maybe, as you're going for his neck, and it cuts in pretty deep, and you pull back, and you're allowed as a paladin, if you make an attack, you get to make a second one as a multi-attack. So
Right.
you can swing again if you want.
I do.
All right, so roll your D20 again
Big
to see
one.
if you hit, and then if you hit, then you get to roll your damage.
Do you
again.
want? You can also use
Nat
that's a
20.
20.
So a natural 20
Yeah.
on an attack is extra good. Not only do you automatically hit, you get to roll double the number of dice you would normally roll to do your damage. So that means you get to roll 2 of those D8s and then add your 5 to it. Or you could just roll it twice and add it up. Oh. You could roll in there if
Yeah.
you want. That'll hold it. Okay, and roll it one
Roll
more
again.
time. So 2 plus
5 plus 5, 12.
12 that time. Now, one thing you have as a paladin is something called smite. And smite is when you get to add extra damage onto an attack. And the really cool thing about smite is I think, for the regular one on the paladin, you can choose to add after you hit. So when you crit, it's a great time to use one because it doubles your damage from that too.
Okay.
So you have that smite, that wrathful smite, and then you have this branding smite.
Yeah.
He's also got divine just from the
Right.
straight of being
I
a
want
paladin.
to decimate him.
Choices.
I want to destroy him. So would that be a wrathful smite?
That sounds right. I don't know
I
too
think
much about the smites, though.
branding smite
The
is
spirit of it
2d6
sounds-
radiant damage, and wrathful smite is 1d6 psychic damage.
Well, the
But-
branding's bigger because it's a
It's
second
a
level
second
slot.
level.
Well, you can only add the divine smite after you get
Okay.
a hit.
Those other smites, then you have
They're
to
bonus
put on the
actions.
weapon.
Oh, so you have to do that before if you wanted
Oh.
to do one of those. But the
Oh.
divine smite, 2d8 for a first level spell slot.
Ooh.
So, or an extra d8 if you use a higher one. So if you wanted to really knock him, you could have second level spells
Mhm.
that he can use.
What do I need to kill him right now?
You don't know.
Okay.
That I keep the health a secret.
Okay.
I'll tell you if he starts looking like he's dying.
Okay.
He doesn't yet.
So you could use a second level spell if you wanted to, and do extra damage.
Mm-hmm.
So you could roll.
He'd get to roll 6 D8, which is huge.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Okay.
Do you want to do that?
Yes.
Here.
I want to.
It's really fun. Just grab 6 out of there and roll them all at the same time. And that way we can just add them all up and you can see how you destroy this guy.
See,
Yeah, really.
because I feel like the fight will be over if I can destroy him.
Yeah.
It'll take the fight out of the others.
All right.
Got some big rolls.
Yeah. 8, 16, 19, 23,
Jeez.
28.
28?
Yeah.
You did exactly 49 points of damage in that round, which is exactly how many hit points the Warlock has.
Oh.
So in 2 attacks, you ran up, you slashed him in the collarbone, so I got to go a little higher next time. And then right through his neck, added the divine radiance through, and just basically exploded him with divine power, in your rage of seeing the Bahamut shrine being desecrated here.
Right.
And the Warlock falls down dead, and Stony is unparalyzed because he can no longer concentrate on Hold Monster.
Yeah, you gotta put that back or my boss is gonna get real mad.
Second
Oh.
spell. So you want to
So that lets me know that.
Again, I'm sorry.
using-
These things here are just like curtains, or are they?
No, they're like statues, altars, shrines.
I can't go through
It's
it.
not like a solid
After
line, I
around.
don't think. I think it's meant
There,
to...
it is. You really can't walk through there because there's like tables and stuff set up.
Temple.
So you'd really have to go around.
Okay.
You can probably see through there.
Is Stony grateful and aware, or is he just kind of like, oh man?
He just knows he can move again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He wouldn't maybe necessarily know why. All right. That brings us
But I guess...
what would be back to the top of the order, but Victor actually sees the cultist straight ahead who pulled the statue down, and he said, hey, you're not supposed to do that. Hey, you're even uglier now than when I first saw you. And casts vicious mockery on the just to make a save, and fails. And Victor deals 1 point of psychic damage
Ooh,
Nice.
Get him!
to a cultist.
You dealt 50 points of damage.
He's also a door.
True.
He dealt 1. And
I've
so-
been dealt more points of damage than one by doors before.
That's true. And we're back to the top of the order with
In
Kalman.
real life.
In real life, yeah.
So let's see here. I can go 5. Can I do 10?
No, that counts as, if you move diagonal, it counts as
5,
2.
10, 15, 20.
You can dash as a bonus action as a rogue.
Oh, yeah. Okay. In that case, I want to dash to here.
Okay?
And
Stony's right up on her, so you would get sneak attack.
then as I do that, I just want to go, shh, soda cleep.
Soda cleave. Okay.
That's definitely a miss. That's 3 plus things. So it's a 9.
That doesn't hit. No.
All right. Second is a 16.
He does not get a sec. Oh, with his offhand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
16.
16.
Sorry, I rolled a 16. 16 plus
Well,
22 total.
You get a second attack as a bonus action with a rogue
Okay.
with the offhand, so he can't make an offhand attack if he had to dash to get there.
Oh, okay.
The offhand attack, rogues don't get to multi-attack.
Oh, okay.
They get a bonus action attack with the offhand, as anybody does with 2-weapon fighting.
Okay, so I just missed.
He just misses.
Fair enough. Am I still hidden? Do I need to make a new? No, that would
You're
be
not
bonus
hidden
action.
anymore. You're right behind her.
Oh, no.
But it's Stony's turn,
He can take a bonus action
because
to
Warlock's
hide.
dead.
I'm reading
He
my...
used a
I used
bonus,
a
action, to
to
dash.
dash.
Just letting you know.
Okay, I guess I will attack whichever the cultist that's like right in front of me.
They're both kind of right there, but this is the one that cast Sacred Flame on you. This is the one that stabbed you with the scimitar.
Okay,
move
the
Blue
one
Man
that
there?
actually knocked over the statue is gone though, right?
No, that was this little guy.
Okay, I'll go for that one
Okay.
with my trident.
All right. Roll a trident attack, however that works.
I don't know. Not not great. 8,
No, an 8 doesn't hit.
but I get 2 attacks.
All right.
This one with my claws. Oh, come on! Another 8?
That's with your
dice.
plus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
yeah.
rolled the exact same thing both times.
So you stab out with the trident, reach out with your claws, and this little cultist is kind of wiry and just kind of dodges out of the way a couple times, and then swings at you with his scimitar.
Which one? This one here?
The blue one.
Of course.
That's not going to do it. So 6.
Nope.
Okay. The next one is going to... As a bonus action, cast Spiritual Weapon and try to make an attack against the Stony, I guess. 13.
No.
Okay. So the spiritual weapon misses.
Real quick, it says for Sentinel, when a creature within 5 feet of you makes an attack, it doesn't say...
That counts as an attack.
Okay, I'd like to take a swipe at him.
Okay. It doesn't say takes an attack action.
It just says makes an attack.
Okay.
Makes an attack against a target.
Yeah.
9 plus 6, 15.
That hits. You do get to add sneak attack on Sentinel, which is why I was going to give it to him, but we didn't play with him much longer.
That's 3d6 at his level. So the dice.
And whose fault is that?
Victor.
8, 10, 12 plus his dexterity modifier 4. So 16 total.
Great. So you take the dagger, the short sword, even though you missed last time. And then when this cultist tries to cast spiritual weapon against Stony, you pull your short sword up.
I was using the dagger, I'm sorry.
Oh, the dagger? Okay.
Yeah.
As she lifts her hand to cast the spell and just stab right into her ribs. That was only her bonus action, though, so she's going to, after getting hit by you, throw a sacred flame at you. So I need you to make a dex save. Yeah. Kalman.
6.
Math is hard.
Well, I'm also not used to this style of character sheet either. It's going to be a 10, I think.
No, that's
he.
Oh, can I have my 8s?
I need one.
I'm glad you don't need to hook up.
6 points of radiant damage to Kalman. And that ends the cultist's turns, which means it's back to Spree. What do you want to do, Spree?
Jeez.
There's 2 cultists left.
2 cultists left. I'm particularly mad at the one that pulled the statue down.
Okay.
Because I see that as a direct insult to my god. That's the one I'm going to go after next. Is he wielding a scimitar?
He is.
Okay.
You're going to have to... You can try to go straight toward him. You're going to have to make a check to see if you can push through the mess and get there. Or you can try and go around, but you won't get there till next turn if you go around.
I'll go around.
Okay.
Because I don't know if I'm going to get hung up with
Try and move him
fray.
this way and see.
What's your movement speed?
30.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
From there, you can see like through, maybe that's even where the shrine fell down, right? So because that's right where he's standing. So you might be able to actually push through and get him from the side there.
Mm-hmm.
So you could go ahead and attack if you want, if that's what you want to do. All right, so roll your d20 again.
Big one.
And add your attack modifier.
6. So that's an 11.
That just misses. He just manages to slip out of the way again as you go to stab there. He's been missed on a few attacks. But you get a second attack, so you can try to swing at him again if you want.
Roll again?
Mm-hmm.
13.
That does hit. So this time he's not able to get out of the way as you step forward, maybe that extra 5 feet through near where the statue is, and stab him. So go ahead and roll your damage for that.
This one. 5.
Plus
5.
All right. And that's the little guy who got hit by the vicious mockery. So that's also enough to kill him. So Spree steps through, misses with one. It clangs into... is there a column there? Or no. Just kind of clangs harmlessly off one of the altars. The second one digs into him, and he falls over into a lump on the ground.
So have I avenged Bahamut?
You have.
Okay.
But there's still one cultist who's in this fight and still around.
Good. Sauce for the goose.
So Victor is going to cast Vicious Mockery again at the one remaining cultist and say, I've seen better hair on a bugbear.
That's a good one.
Thanks, buddy. But she passes her saving throw on that one.
Her hair's gorgeous.
Yeah. And it is Kalman's turn.
She's
I'm going to stab her.
Okay. Right near her gorgeous hair.
It's going to miss. It was
Okay.
6. It was a 4 plus 6. It's 10 total. Yeah.
Right. Well, now you can use a bonus.
That's
to
a crit
attack.
fail.
All right. Kalman, 2 misses, unfortunately. And it's Stoney's turn.
Nat 20.
All right.
You say dice aren't lucky.
So that's
So
for
you
the
roll-
trident attack, because that's...
Double your dice damage for the trident.
Okay. 1d6 plus 2. So 5, 2 plus 2.
9. Okay. So you stab in with your trident into this cultist and just kind of get her in her belly. But she's still standing.
I have another attack.
Okay.
That one probably won't hit. 9?
No, that one doesn't hit. So the first one goes in, but as you go to move your claws, she just kind of slumps down from the pain, and you go right over the top of her head. And it is her turn. She's not feeling so good. She didn't have a great way to get out of here, but she's going to just try to run. So she's going to dash away.
Opportunity attack.
Yeah, which means Kalman and Stoney would get opportunity attacks on her.
And so would Spree would.
16 plus
Spree's
6.
not within 5 feet
22?
of her.
Oh.
22 definitely hits.
And because of Sentinel, she now cannot move. Drops her movement speed to 0 on a successful attack.
That's on a successful opportunity attack?
Yep.
Okay, she's stuck. And how much damage?
Let's see. I grab the d6. 1 plus 4, 5 damage.
Okay. Did Stoney hit with an opportunity attack?
I rolled a 6, which
Okay.
is good because I would have felt bad about being hurt while she was trying to get away.
Okay. So Stoney has a bit of remorse and doesn't finish her off.
No, Stoney doesn't. Eva does.
Eva does. But she did try to dash. She didn't dash, so I'm trying to decide if that's her action or just her movement, because she didn't get anywhere.
Well, it would still... The opportunity attack would reduce her movement to 0.
Right.
So whether she decided to take another dash action
But
or
I'm
not.
trying to see if I can give her an action. I
Oh,
think
I
she
see.
would still have one, because she didn't get to use her dash. So she'll use her spiritual weapon to make an attack as her bonus. She can do that anyway. Kalman, because you hit her. It's a 20.
Yeah.
It's 3 damage.
Ooh.
And she's going to cast Command for her action at Kalman. So I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no. 6. Wait, is he 5?
She tells you to flee.
Oh, boy!
So you'll have to do that on your go, right? Spree, it's your turn. We've got one cultist left who started to try to run away and then froze in place after the spherical fellow hit her with his dagger.
I sliced your Achilles tendon.
All right. Well, of course, running away is not an option. That leaves her able to fight again. So, unfortunately, my feeling is to slay her and set her spirit free.
Okay. She's looking pretty bad off, so go ahead and make an attack.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19 plus things.
All right. Roll your damage.
58.
D8 plus,
That's
I think your number was 5 that you had.
6 plus
11.
5, 11.
And Spree goes on this killing spree today. Takes out the cult fanatic here as well.
Beautiful
And
hair or
runs
no,
her-
my dear, you went on the wrong path.
And with that, she gasps and falls down to the ground, dead.
I pray for your spirit.
Wait, where was I running?
Yeah, and you don't have to take that command. So that ends the combat, because you've taken out all of the threats. So now we're just the scene is there's a few dead individuals laying around the shrine. A little bit of rubble knocked off of the stone guardian, but for the most part, Kalman and Spree didn't take any really serious wounds. There are those people, the cultists laying dead, and the statue that has been kind of crashed over onto the ground.
Can we right the statue?
Sure. So you walk up over to the Bahamut statue, and you grab it and you lift it up into place. And when your hand is on it, you actually get like a voice inside your head, and you hear the voice of Bahamut, which you've heard a few times in your life. And you hear kind of a, "My son."
I'm here to serve you, my master.
Order. Order must be restored in this place.
I shall do as you wish.
And then after that, when you hear this place, you get kind of like a double interpretation inside your mind, like almost a telepathic message. And in one, it's sort of the general area around you. The temple needs the order restored. There's rubble on the ground. There's a piece of the statue that is sort of scuffed and marked up. But more than that, there's people dead here laying in the temple, too.
And the poor gargoyle is missing part of his kilt.
Yeah. But after that, you get sort of a second level to the message, too, that here is not just here, but here is this island, and here is this village to the south that you're hearing about making a last stand against this chaos that's been encroaching. And many of the Dragonborn have fled. They've gone and held up in Firecliff in their keep there. They think that's where they're going to hold off, way in the north. But if things make it that far, there's nothing of the island left. I mean, that's just the tip of the island. But you're sort of getting the call that that's not good enough, that you need to go and help defend this village.
To me, the immediate task at hand is to find a comrade among the group that I've worked with. Of course, there was Stony, but there were others that were fighting, and to descend to where there may be more of the cultists and do a mopping up operation and clear the temple completely before we go to other quests or other tasks.
Okay. Based on I guess you kind of clean things up for a little while, and you're trying to ask one of these individuals to help you with that task. Is that what you're saying?
Well,
like Kalman or
I mean, clear out any other cultists that may be in the bowels of the temple that may be still followers of the warlock. While they may not have his immediate direction, they still followed him and have his ideas of evil, and they're even they are besmirching the temple by even being there. And I want to mop up them, clean them out, whether it's slay them, and then have the temple completely clear of the evil that was in it.
Okay, so you go down the one path that you hadn't gone down before, and you do see there's like a big vault, like a stone coffin that has been pulled off the wall and is laying in front of the door, making it hard to get in. And there were like all strings and chains and things all hanging down above it that look like they're near to where that vault is, but they're just kind of hanging there. You go in, and just for kind of the sake of time, there's not a lot down here. The mausoleum is pretty well empty, except for the few vaults, and then higher up, a lot of urns that go up to the top. And this is sort of the richer mausoleum, and then as you go further down the path, you find more of like the pauper's mausoleum that's jam-packed full of urns and things along those lines. But as you inspect kind of this whole area up into the... and you don't see any sign of anyone
Cultists,
else.
right.
It looks like...
and was I able to recruit any of the people that were helping?
So Stony, immediately after the threat is gone, would fly back up and revert to a gargoyle. But Kalman, who's peace, Kalman, who is a rogue and good at sneaking around down in the dark, probably would have come with you if you asked him and help you have a look around.
And Stony is only activated if people are trying to leave the temple with maybe ill-gotten gains or damage to the temple.
Correct.
He doesn't go into the temple to root them out.
Or steal things.
If anybody,
Move things.
particularly outside.
Right.
If anybody pulls something off one of the shrines, knocks one down, steals something, or desecrates
scroll, for
something.
example.
Yeah.
They have to encounter him before they're able to leave.
Pyromaniac scroll.
Right. Okay. So we're down in the bowels, and we don't see any more cultists.
It looks like that was the extent of what he was traveling with. Like the one guy said, he only had a couple with him, and they were attacked by some creature way down in the Underdark. And it looks like nobody else made it out alive, and that was the last remnants of the Cult of the Black Hand on this island.
That being done, then we'll go out and and do Bahamut's bidding to clear the countryside.
I think that's where we'll pick up next time and after dinner. So we'll arrive, you'll be back and arrive in Raventree when we come back, and the rest of you are getting back to Raventree, so
all right.
Shortly.
Well done. Did you have fun?
Yeah, that's the right spirit of it all, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're doing a really
The
good
play
job.
acting and the okay.
That's all it is.
Okay. It's just a new age cowboys and Indians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
With math.
New age
dice.
cops and robbers and cowboys and Indians.
So you don't have to argue about whether I hit you or you didn't hit me because you get to roll the number
and
instead.
that tells us, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we do start the satanic ritual at 8.
Well, I was going
Yeah.
to say if
Gotta
Nana
wait for
if
that.
Nana mentions it, I'll just tell her, Nana, it's nothing more than cowboys and Indians.
Roll
a
for
new
Satan.
generation."
I got 666 again.
Hooray! Oh boy! We hope you've enjoyed our date night together. Remember, you can really help us out by subscribing, rating, and reviewing on whatever platform you use to listen to us. Thanks for listening. We'll see you again next week.